From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the morning news blast for October 5th, 2025. LGBTQ Nation is reporting a top Nevada law enforcement official who instructs a class called Policing with Pride lashed out at a Las Vegas police officer during a heated traffic stop and called him an F word. 8 News Now reports. The Metro Police traffic officer stopped William Scott Jr., age 62, in Las Vegas on August 18th. Records show Scott was cited for holding his phone while driving. "I thought you could use your speakerphone," Scott tells the officer in body camera video obtained through a records request. "Okay, you can't have it in your hand, though," the officer tells Scott while asking for his ID. Scott was driving a state-owned vehicle at the time. "I'm a retired police captain with Metro, and I am the chief of investigations right now with the Attorney General's office," Scott tells the traffic cop. "Okay, well then you know the law then," the officer replies. Well, that set Scott off. In an expletive-laden rant directed at the officer, Scott complained that the cop should overlook the infraction and name-dropped Clark County Sheriff Keith McMahill in an effort to intimidate the officer. So maybe I just call Kevin and just tell Kevin, "You're giving me a hard time because I'm telling you, I didn't know, dude," Scott says during the stop. Scott was appointed to his current post in 2020 by Democratic Attorney General Aaron Ford and teaches a course on preventing police confrontations in the role. Well, after the officer returned to his motorcycle to write the ticket, Scott exits the vehicle. "Sit in the car, sir," the officer yells towards Scott. "Stop. Every second I spend with you tells me there's no way you're a retired cop." But when the officer returned to Scott's state-owned vehicle, ticket in hand, the former cop waves his badge. "There you go. Right there, buddy," Scott says, holding it up. "Okay, yeah, should have just led with that," the officer replies. Well, that set Scott off again. "Why are you being such an effing a-hole?" Scott shouts. "You're being a piece of est." "Both ways," the cop replies. Screaming from the driver's seat as the officer heads back to his bike, Scott yells, "I don't give an F." "Clearly you don't," responds the officer, who remained unflappable throughout the cop-on-cop confrontation. "And this is why you got a ticket," he tells Scott. That's when the Attorney General's investigator drops the F-bomb. "Bye. I have enough to pay for mine, fat." "Okay, very classy. I'm so glad that you're retired and not with the department anymore," the officer replies. Scott declined to comment on the incident. The Las Vegas Protective Association for Police called the incident something that is extremely hard to comprehend and said they were appalled and frankly disgusted by Scott's behavior. Holding his own personal judgment of our officer and using the language the way he did should at minimum warrant a personal apology to our officer and potentially even an internal investigation by Attorney General Ford, the association said in a statement. The Attorney General's office was more circumspect. "The Office of the Attorney General does not condone Chief Scott's conduct or comments," a statement read. "Accordingly, and consistent with office policy, we are conducting an internal inquiry into the matter to determine an appropriate course of action that comports with our commitment to respect and anti-discrimination." Well, Chief Scott has expressed sincere remorse and apologizes for his actions. The Attorney General's office added, "We will not comment further at this time." And that's the News Blast this hour. If you like watching our news videos on YouTube, please remember to subscribe to our channel. PEP Radio is available on the PEP Radio page at paequality.com, the Live 365 app, Roku, and Alexa. Up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast here on PEP Radio.